Hi, I'm Gary White for Central Kentucky Television. I'm here with Marion County School Superintendent Laura Schlosser for our update on the Marion County school system, what's been going on over the past month. We get together each month to talk about it. And we'll first start off with, actually, you just had a meeting last week regarding a tax hearing for the county. Can you tell us a little about that meeting and the outcome?
Right. We did have a tax hearing, and our board voted to take the compensating rate, which actually is lower. Last year's taxes was 55 cents. They actually voted to lower that to 54.5. But as you know, earlier in the year, our board had voted to pursue the nickel tax initiative. So with the nickel, that would put the tax rate at 60 cents. So if we would have kept the 55 cents, the tax rate would have been 60.5. But since the board voted to do this, the compensating rate, we're actually at just an even 60 cents if the nickel is not recalled at the election in November.
Okay. And we've been talking about that there will be an election in November regarding that tax, so we'll wait and see. If that is recalled, then it'll just stay at 54.5.
Actually, it will not, Gary. The way the statute reads is that if a district elects to pursue the nickel and that is recalled at the ballot, actually you will see a 4% tax increase. So the way this is going to work this year is there will be an increase in revenue for us. It'll either be the 4% or the nickel. What would be it'd be very good for our future generations is if we could pass the nickel. We've got a lot of buildings that are old. We've got a lot of pipes and electricity that's old, and with the nickel we will actually have the money to address those kinds of things. I would like to just say that if I had to select projects that the nickel would address, that would obviously be Calvary. Calvary is still on a septic system that needs to be moved closer into town to get on sewer. Lebanon Elementary is overcrowded, needs to be renovated, remodeled, added on to. Our high school needs to be updated, and I don't know that we'll ever have the money for a new high school, but it sure would be nice to have some new science labs for our kids so that they can compete with other districts. West Marion's parking lot needs to be renovated and updated. If you've ever been down there at the end of school and you're trying to get in and out of there, it's just a lot of congestion. Almost every school we have has HVAC units that are over 20 years old. So those would be the projects that if we could get the nickel that I would recommend. Now obviously there's a lot of things you have to go through to get that, but if you're looking at right now what we need to do, that would be the things that I would address, Gary.
Okay. And again, that will be up for an election, the general election in November for the nickel, for the recallable nickel. Now also, as we're recording this, we have fall break coming up not too far away, right?
That's right, in 2 weeks.
So how has school been going so far?
So far, we've been having a great school year. The weather's been great, which maybe we'll have a different conversation after fall break. But the weather's been great. Our kids have been doing really well. We've had a strong start to school. As you've said, we've started working on our 6 big dreams. Excited about being a part of Ham Days. Our student ambassadors have been selected. We've got technology in kids' hands. All of our high school students have a Chromebook now. We're very pleased with the progress we're making. Our fall break will be that first full week in October. We will not have school on the 10th, which is the Monday, and Gary, we use that for a staff development day. And when I say staff development, I literally mean all staff. Everyone will have an opportunity to grow, and what we hope as soon as kids get back to school on that Tuesday, our staff is excited to get students back, but also have had an opportunity to grow professionally. So very pleased about the progress we're making on that. Even our elementary school and our primary, our instructional assistants and our teachers will be working with a group discussing research-based strategies to improve literacy. And when we say we want kids to graduate college and career ready, we understand that that literacy, that reading, writing, listening, talking, that is so important to a child graduating career ready.
Now, you mentioned Ham Days, and as we're recording this, it is the week before Ham Days will be coming up. And actually, today, some students with the Marion County School System will be taking part in the Pigpen Relays that they have going on with Ham Days. But you also are going to have the Dream Bus and some other activities, correct?
Right, we are very pleased that we're going to have the Dream Bus available for parents and students in the community. They can get on there and take advantage of some of the activities that we have. On the Dream Bus, we are going to be parked on Spalding Avenue. We're going to be a part of this section that this is Marion County. Very pleased about that. We're going to have books to give away to the kids. We want to encourage parents and grandparents and families to read to their child 20 minutes a day, or we want to encourage our children to read 20 minutes a day. So we're going to have age-appropriate books to give away. I'm sure we'll have some balloons to give away as well. So we really enjoy the Dream Bus, and we get a lot of accolades for that, Gary. We've had it out at our home football games, and a lot of community members from other communities really are impressed with that. And it will be a part of the parade, so we hope that we can add to the excitement of Ham Days this weekend.
Absolutely. Recently also had the opportunity to talk to over 40 students who are now student ambassadors. You almost doubled the number of ambassadors from last year. So for those who are unfamiliar, tell us a little bit about the ambassador program and what they do.
Our ambassadors this year are actually sophomores, juniors, and seniors, and they go through a rigorous application and interview process, and they are really excited about being an ambassador for Marion County Public Schools. They're very passionate about the schools that they went to, and in elementary and middle school, also Marion County High School. They want to be the name and the face and for Marion County Public Schools. They're very involved with our schools, whether it's through sports or civic or just club organizations. So you've got a great group of kids out there that are passionate about this community, and they are the next generation, Marion County.
Absolutely. Now, I know there were some ambassadors in the other schools, or developing them for the other schools. Do you have them this year?
Absolutely, we do. We actually, this year, we have 2 schools that are Leader in Me schools. That's Calvary Elementary and Glasscock, so I want to put a big shout out to them. Our Lebanon Elementary and West Marion are working on that, but those schools, West Marion and Lebanon Elementary, are going to have student councils this year, so that gets that leadership started there in the elementary school. Both our middle schools have a leadership program, so we already have our Young Leaders Conference scheduled for March this year, and that's when our senior our high school, when I say senior, I mean our high school student ambassadors will actually be working with our elementary and middle school children on leadership, and we're just very passionate about that. We believe that every child has the potential to be a leader, and we understand that once we're no longer here, those kids are going to be the ones that are going to be sitting in mine and your seat.
That's right. Hopefully they'll be hopefully they'll be from this community too.
Absolutely, absolutely.
So that's some of the stuff going on with the Marion County School System. And I know we talked before, is there any update on the program that you were doing with the tech school with regards to, and the Marion County Detention Center? I know we talked about a program there.
We're still making plans for that. Of course, when you're dealing with the Department of Juvenile Justice and the Department of Education, there's a lot of hoops that you have to jump through. As far as our parts, we're all on board. We've just got to get all the logistics worked out. Also working on hiring a new principal there at the Area Technology Center. I don't know if we've talked about that, but Mr. Barden is no longer with us. So I think once we get a new principal hired at the Area Tech Center, we can maybe start that process of working with our detention center and working with our local business and industries on offering evening classes for folks as well, because with technology changing the way it is, I'm sure that we'd all agree that there's always something to learn in that respect. So
absolutely. Well, again, I've been talking with the Marion County School Superintendent Laura Schlosser. This has been Gary White for Central Kentucky Television.